Today is rear clamshell removal day. I'm going to show you guys how to remove a rear clamshell on a Series 2 Lotus Exige. I'm going to be following these instructions by Radium Engineering. They make a rear clam shim kit for the Exige. Replaces the stock taped on little metal shims. They make some really nice engineered shims for only like 50 bucks. But yeah, we're going to start, but right off the bat, there's a discrepancy I'm seeing. It says, jack up the car and safely support it. And then we remove the diffuser and side scoops. Well, can't really jack up the car without removing the under tray to get to the access point. So I've already done this. We've already removed the side scoops, 3 bolts there. We've removed all the carpeting. I've removed the diffuser and I've removed the muffler and exhaust because I'm going to be replacing that. You don't have to do that to replace a clamshell, but I'm doing that, like I said, since I'm replacing that anyways. So I guess now we can jack up the car. Getting ready to jack up the car, you can see there is a sticker on each side that shows you where the jacking points are. So you're going to want to jack from the middle, and then there are other stickers for where your jack stands go. So one in the front, and there's a spot back here where you can jack onto the metal part after getting the diffuser and the under panel tray off. Not gonna lie, still get a little nervous when I jack this thing up, especially when you're doing one side at a time, but you can see it's getting there. We've got our jack point in the middle like I showed you. The first jack goes into the point there with the sticker, and this jack stand goes right there. There's a beam that goes across right where that's gonna sit. We're gonna let that down and do the other side. Next, we gotta take the wheels off. I'm gonna use my handy dandy little Lotus toolkit here and get off those lug nuts. With the wheels off, now we're gonna remove the plastic wheel liners. Phillips screws should take care of it. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws holding that guy on. Now that the wheel liners are off, the next step would be to remove your carpet, padding, and battery, which I've already done. After that, we gotta start to push those wiring harnesses out through the grommet holes. So that this one as well, push all this stuff out through the grommet holes so it's not snagging when we pull off the clam. All right, so the electrical cables are out. Just for reference, those 2 holes there where you pull like the battery cables and things through. You got the big loom here and the smaller loom here for the lights. On that side, there's a little one there that you're gonna pull out and pull through on both sides for the little side markers. And then after that, we're gonna start removing these 10mm bolts in the trunk area, or boot, if you want to call it that. All right. After removing the 4 bolts in the trunk, you're gonna want to remove, I've already got this removed, but your heat shield and your license plate holder is gonna have some bolts underneath here to where you're gonna have to remove those because they connect up to this guy. So be sure to do that next. If you have a S model and you've got intercooling ducting, be sure to remove that. Now, as you can see, I'm a lowly old naturally aspirated here, so no ducting for me to remove. For the next step, we're gonna remove the hardtop roof. We've got these T40 hex bolts. We're gonna take these out and take this panel off. I think there's 2 more in the corners after you take this off. Then there's 2 in the rears. You've got covers over these. They just pull off with Velcro. Another one on the other side as well. With the roof removed, now we're gonna take out the seats so that we can get at these speaker holes, because we're gonna wanna stick our hands through there and get some bolts that are bolted to the side. These guys should be pretty easy. I think just 4 bolts holding them down and getting the seatbelt off. All right, we've got the seats out. Next is to remove these speakers and this headliner panel here. There's just Phillips screws holding that in, and I think there's a foam piece that we can bend back and get that off. So I've got one of these speakers off. Just wanted to show you guys because I struggled with this a little bit. You've got to pry off the grill, like the mesh stuff right here. I used a very small flat blade screwdriver just to get on the edge and pry that off. Once you pry that off, now you can get to these screws, and that will be able to get those speakers out of there. All right, I decided to move the entire speaker panel. I know, like Radium Engineering says, you can just remove the speakers and get your hand through there. This really was not that hard, guys. It was literally like 4 of these little plastic screw rivet thingies to remove out and pull out. And now I have a super clean, clear shot to that 10 millimeter bolt in there. I can reach right in and get it without cutting myself up. If you're doing this, I highly recommend just to remove the whole panel. That's way easier, in my opinion. Foam trim panel is now removed along with the speaker panel. Next up is to remove these guys. And then per the instructions from Radium Engineering, it says to make a small cut right here so that you don't have to remove this entire weather strip. This is underneath the top anyways, so I don't think any water or anything will get into that. I've known many people who do it. Just make the cut there so that when you lift off the clam, that's gonna go with it. Okay, I've got those pieces off and I made my cut. Just wanna show you guys where to cut this. Makes sense, honestly, because this piece tucks underneath this. It's like a 2-piece thing, and then also goes over. So you cut where that piece is going over, and you can see right there, it still tucks in. So when you make your cut like that, that's what you're gonna wanna do. With this header panel off here, you're gonna wanna remove these 2 hex bolts, 1 on each side. Those hold the clam to the structure here. Next up, we are going to remove this shield here from the little hood latch. We're gonna remove the cable for the release mechanism, the little handle in the door, loosen that. And once that's done, you are not gonna wanna shut this hatch because you will be stuck and not be able to get it open. So I think I am going to loosen those up, and then I'm going to unbolt and take that hatch off. Just so, I might even do that first. I would recommend, we'll see, I don't know. I'm gonna unbolt those and then take this off so that this guy can just come off completely, and then we'll detach that cable from the inside. First time I've ever done this, so trial and error. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, I've taken the shield off of that, and I can get to the cable. Before I do the cable, I've decided I'm gonna go ahead and loosen these bolts and take off the hatch. So that's gonna be what's going on next. I've got one side of the hatch off. You can see it's a little unstable here. I put that towel down just to protect when I'm getting off this next side. If you do have somebody to help you, I would recommend somebody come hold this as you're taking off this last hinge, so it doesn't fall and you don't cause any accidents. Well, that was quite the job there. I had to have my wife come out and give me a hand with getting that hatch off. I don't know how you'd get that off by yourself. If you know how, you know, shoot it in the comments how to do it. But 2 people is what it took to get that bad boy off. I released this rod. There's a little retaining clip right here. You pull that out, and then that just slides right off of the hatch. Now we can keep on going with the hatch release. All right, remember those bolts I showed you earlier? We are gonna reach in, and you can see one on this side here, 10 millimeter bolt. Sorry, my camera does not want to focus. Well, you get the gist of it. There is a 10mm bolt down there, and then also on this other side, that attaches to the sides here. Shouldn't be too hard that we have that whole panel off. I'm gonna use my... All right, next we're gonna remove the washer bottle from the clam. It's pretty easy. There's a bracket here, but I think you just pull up, that's it. And comes off nice and clean. Put that to the side, and we're pretty much almost there. Next up, remove the fuel filler cover, and we'll get that off the clam here. Cover came off simple enough with these 3mm hex bolts. Instructions say that after we've got this removed, this backing thing will come off of the back side of the clam. So I think we can probably remove it with it like that, and on to the next step. We are in the home stretch now, guys. So each side of the wheel well, there are 2 bolts holding this lower rocker panel to the clam. We got to take these 2 bolts out here. That's it, guys. After those bad boys in the wheel wells, that's it. This clam is off. You can see this. All that hard work paid off. Clam is ready to move. So I'm gonna have to get my wife out here again, help me take her off. There you go, how to remove a clam, rear clamshell on a Lotus Exige Series 2. That's a wrap, guys. We did it. Clamshell is off. Took me about 3 hours to do all of this. So if you're feeling intimidated and you think you can't take your rear clamshell off, it's really not that bad, guys. I did this all by myself in an afternoon. Now I've got the clam off. I can finish all the repairs I need to do. And I can install my new exhaust, headers, muffler, decap pipe, everything nice and easy. So, whew, I'm tired. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope that it helped you out. If you're looking to do this yourself, you can do it. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.